Greetings, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome you today as I will bring you forth a short story for you to observe, just sink into your awareness. For in this day, are we not bombarded by visual images that assail us at Herculean speeds? It gives us little time to absorb what we've just seen. If you are looking for fast-paced material, this is not the place for you. What I'm about to regale you with is a tale with a spiritual vibe, and I'd like you to allow those words to permeate your consciousness and sit with you. They may resonate with you, or they may not. Just take your time, and I hope that they will entertain you to some degree. And if you are regaled, please do consider liking and subscribing. For I am not a filmmaker, I am a raconteur storyteller, and for me it is the words that count rather than the visuals. So I do recommend once more, if you haven't already done so, close your eyes, maybe watch the visuals later, and just lose yourself in the following tale, which I have entitled Divinity. The old church held fast to the fading light of a lone candle. Alec remembered more holy days. In times gone by, the interior hummed with the pious looking for the wisdom of the Lord. Change, Alec mused, not for the better. There was one good thing. He spoke and sensed God in the sanctity of this sacred space. He placed his hands together, closed his eyes, entered inner peace. His concentration on his breath, the slight tingle upon the top of his head. He ventured ever inwards, and the sensation grew to an open doorway to the space around him. Lord, I am at your service, he whispered. The wintry air promoted gloom outside and within. Alec observed a tremendous light. He fought the sensation to open his eyes. He drifted deeper, wishing to see the eyes of an angel, or perhaps the grace of God. The light grew stronger. His body pulsed with fervent warmth. His soul burst in joy, and he imagined the choir of a divine gospel just chanting his name. He plunged ever deeper into the ecclesiastical chasm. Great glowing orbs passed to his left and his right. He gazed upon a marble stairway on a collision course with the golden sun. The radiance diminished. He ascended one spiral circuit, before alighting upon a floor of pure rose quartz. He shuffled forward, not wanting to miss any of this grand spectacle. Alec caught his breath. His heart beat so fast, and yet retained a state of calm. A Titan's door of gold etched with esoteric glyphs and sigils awaited him. He breathed into the interior of this quartz palace, and a great throne conquered his fascination. Fantastical beasts, birds, and other creatures lay within. Men and women, too, inhabited the expanse, and all the while dazzling strands of intelligent light danced throughout the palace while singing the most beautiful song. He edged closer to a throne. He tried to make out the shape of God. The light burned in incredible intensity. He wondered if God were a man, a woman, maybe an angel, or something far beyond his comprehension. Is the light too bright? Echoed a thought. Alec nodded, and the conflagration dimmed. Alec looked on in bewilderment. He did not look upon God, but a mere reflection of himself. He found himself surrounded by heretical thoughts of hubris. I cannot be God. Such a thought is ridiculous, he said. And yet the figure shook his head. Is it, Alec? Alec sat at the stairs to this throne. His mind jived in total confusion. What should he ask of this impostor? How could this absurd situation come to pass? My dear Alec, I am no impostor. You are no impostor. What you see before you is as natural as the breath that inhabits your body every second of your life. I'm sorry, I just don't understand this at all. How can God look like me? His twin pointed to the myriad of beings all around him. As he did this, his form changed into so many different creatures, people, lights, and even stars. Do you understand now? Ask yourself, who is God? Alex's thoughts shriveled at the announcement of revelation. Is it me, the lions, the penguins, the scorpions, my friends, my family, the earth, and maybe even the universe? God nodded in devout enthusiasm. And far more besides. To ask for my aid, you merely have to ask yourself, for I am in each and every part of you and everything around. Ponder this in your dreams and prayers, and you will find your peace. Alec bowed his head in a distant hum of understanding. The figure diminished, and soon a mere shard of reflective mirror took its place. He glanced at himself before taking his leave and headed to the entrance of this divine place. The realm shifted, and a dancing whirlstream of dazzling colours. He shielded his eyes, and when he opened them once again, he found himself sitting in the gizzards of the old church. A flutter of wings called out from above. Alec looked up, hoping to see angels, but instead a pigeon circled down to the ground in search of hunger offerings. Alec reached into his pocket and tossed the creature an uneaten sandwich. The pigeon cooed in appreciation. He did not witness a mere bird, though. He looked upon a manifestation of the Creator and offered his thanks. He'd no more see the world ever the same again. And that concludes this tale for today. My realm of work is quite varied. It can be quite a spiritual message and sometimes can go off to any direction you wish to imagine. I've written horror. I've written a book, a novel on horror entitled Shadow Fruit, which you can discover on Amazon should this work has enthralled you. And many more short stories and poems I've written over the years that you'll find hidden in the web. Just search my name and you'll find some, although alas, many have succumbed as websites have fallen. But I shall leave you now with those thoughts and that story. And once again, if that story has entertained you and you've made it this far, I thank you sincerely and would ask that you strongly consider liking and subscribing, and do offer your comments below. I thank you. I wish you well. Much love. Take care.